In lieu of April Fool's Day, let me tell you some of the pranks I used to pull all the time and the jokes I used to do at work quite frequently. Funny thing is, I usually didn't wait till April Fool's Day. I just did this all year long. People got used to me fooling around. Don't be wrong, did my job, did a good job, stuff was done by the end of the night. But yeah, I fooled around a bit and, made everybody's day a little more funnier. For example, one thing I used to do all the time growing up as a teenager working at Wendy's, and this was like probably, I didn't start this until like 3 or 4 years in. So I was like a older teenager by this point, but I used to sometimes jokingly, whenever we had a new person my age or younger, sometimes I'd be like, later on after a rush, I'd be like, hey, listen, supervisor wants to talk to you in the office for a quick sec. Don't know what about. She just asked me to come get you and send you back, right? And meanwhile, the supervisor didn't ask for that at all. So the new employee would walk back and be like, John told me that you wanted to. What? No, I didn't. I don't want to talk to you at all, right? Oh, that was always a good time. You know what I mean? Don't be wrong. Everybody took it in good stride. They realized I was just joking around, but once in a while it was kind of a funny. I just did it to goof off and see if I can get it. If anybody would fall for it, and most of the time they did. After a while, they'd be like, "John, you mother," you know. But I used to also be the guy who would sometimes bring in random items that look like normal, typical items, but would shock you if you went to go use it. Like I used to have a pen that if you went to go click it, it would shock you. I had a tiny little camera that if you went to go try to take a picture, it would shock you. I've had a stapler. I've had a good a little calculator. I've had a good handful of things that if you go use it like you normally would, it'll shock you, right? I've had a lighter like that. You know what I mean? So that's I used to bring shit like that into work all the time, and that was always a good time to see how many people you would get. But just some of the things I used to do at work to joke around, and as well as telling jokes. But I hope you're all doing well. I wanted to, make a shout out to Northbound X out in Norway. Always like to see you around for my live streams. Hope you're doing well. Take care. Oh yeah, I knew I was forgetting one of the jokes I used to pull a lot. So there was two or three supervisors who had a tendency of leaving their keys laying around. The keys to, get into the cash registers, to get into the office, to lock up the restaurant at the end of the night. There's a handful of them, and I don't know what every single one did. There's one to the back room. You know what I'm saying? Like every manager and supervisor, pretty much anywhere, has a little ring of keys they give them. But they had a tendency of just leaving them around kind of absent-mindedly. They'd unlock whatever, a cash to go count it and then put it down for a second and do what they're doing and then walk away. And then often enough forget their keys. And what I would do is I'd sneak by, swipe the keys, put them in my pocket, sort of thing, not steal them. I'd put them in my pocket, and then when they realized they didn't have their keys, they'd go looking for them. And when I realized they were looking, I'd be like, "Hey, are you looking for these?" Right? To just play around with them, and they always realized I was only kidding. I always gave them back, and every key was always on there. And you know, most of the time it was funny, and they'd be like, "John, what the heck?" And or they'd be looking for them, and if they couldn't find them, they'd be like, "John, give me my keys," sort of thing, right? Most of the time it was kind of funny. I'd give them to them, but there was this one time when I had their keys, right? And oh no, sorry, I didn't have their keys. I was just doing my closing. And one of the supervisors, she comes up to me. She's like, "John, give me my keys." Right? I honestly didn't have her keys. I didn't even realize she left them anywhere. And I'm like, "I don't have them." Right? She's like, "No, screw off. Give me my keys. I'm not kidding around." I'm like, "No, for real. I don't have your keys this time." And she's like, "I'm not joking around. Just give me my keys." Right? And I'm like, "I'm serious." And I started emptying out my pockets. I'm like, "I'm this time I actually don't have them. I don't know where you put them this time, but this is why I do this." Because eventually you'll lose them for good, or somebody else might take them, and hope they didn't. But honest to God, this time wasn't me. So that was another funny experience. For the most part, we all took it in good stride 'cause I like to goof around sometimes. But yeah, there was that one time where it was like, gosh, yeah, this looks bad, right? Anyways, I hope you're all doing well and take care.